Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bryony and I'm one half of the Indecisive Readers. Today I'm here to give you 7 reasons why you should read what is potentially my favourite series ever, but definitely my favourite childhood series, and that is the Septimus Heap series by Angie Sage. There are 7 books here, and so I'm going to give you 7 reasons, also because 7 is a magical number in this book, so yeah, 7 reasons why you should read the Septimus Heap series. The first book in the series is Magic, and this follows the Heap series 11 years before the main events of the book. The 7th son of a 7th son is born to the Heap family, and then stuff happens and they end up taking in a second child. Then the book really begins and you kind of get wizards and witches and princesses. There's an evil necromancer who is trying to take over the castle, and the other child's heritage starts to come into play. I obviously can't really say more, and I really struggled to sum this up because there are 7 books and I have read 6 of those, and I don't know what to say without being spoilers. But yes, my number 1 reason is that there are 7 books in this series. You get so many series now where you kind of only get 3 books or something, and so to have 7 books that you know you can dive into is a really exciting thing. All 7 books are out already, so you can like read them back to back. Each book is quite long, and also I think there's a second series that's come out which has 3 books in it, and I do want to read that at some point, but I haven't read it yet because I haven't read the final one. But there are 7 books, they are all out already, they're chunky, and so you have a lot of reading to fill your time with. The next book in the series is Flight, and my second reason is illustrations. This book series has so many illustrations, so you can see there's a map there, there's also someone there, there's someone else there, and it's like that for the whole book. I love these illustrations. When I was younger, I used to spend hours kind of copying them, drawing them in my own style, but also kind of as an extension, all the book covers work into the book somehow. So like this is kind of green and scaly, and then you've got this gold arrow. They have a significance in the book, and I just thought that was so clever when I was young. And yeah, I definitely recommend the illustrations. I think they're fantastic. So the third book in the series is Physic, and my third reason is queendoms. In this world, the throne is passed down via the women, and the husbands are there just to kind of be husbands. They don't necessarily play any part in the, I suppose, the ruling of the world. However, it's not just through the queens that kind of feminism comes out. Jenna was like my idol growing up. I used to love her. I think she was really fierce, and also she was a tomboy, but also she was feminine in her own ways, which I thought was really fun. But also, wizards aren't just men. Wizards is like a type of magic, and then witches are another type of magic. I will come back to magic later on, but I did really enjoy how kind of women were handled in it when I came back to it when I was a bit older. The 4th book in this series is Quest, and my 4th reason is family dynamics. The family in this is incredible. There are 7 brothers and both parents are still alive, which is kind of unusual for, I suppose, middle grade books, unfortunately. And I think the family and how they handle and communicate with each other is so lovely. I wanted to be a part of their family so much. They were just nice. They were all cozy and happy and loyal to each other. There's like one brother who does some shady stuff, but otherwise they're all fun. They're all their own character. There are some that are kind of less prominent in the story, so you kind of forget who they are a bit, but I think each of them and how the mother and the father are involved are just lovely. And also they're the kind of family that would travel to the ends of the earth to find each other, and that's kind of a little bit what's in this one. The 5th book in the series is Siren, and this really starts to get chunky. I think this one's like 600 pages or something. And my 5th reason is that the series is actually really funny. I came up with this list whilst I wasn't necessarily reading it, so I haven't like gone through and tabbed it, but maybe I will. But I did get 2 quotes off Goodreads, and I would like to read them out to you. The first is, they would all be sorry, particularly the duck. I mean, there's a duck that meows. It's actually a cat. That's pretty funny to kids and to me. I enjoy it. And she's called Bert. And then the aunt makes cabbage sandwiches, boiled cabbage sandwiches. I entirely thank/blame the aunt in this for my reason for not hating cabbage. But that's a kind of a story for another day. And the other quote I have is, you could give us a hand instead of staring into space like a constipated camel. My other kind of funny point is there is a sassy teenage dragon. He starts as like a baby dragon, and then he gets older, and then in books like 3 to 6 they're all kind of within about 2 months of each other. He is just like the sassiest teenage dragon. He sleeps all the time, he kind of farts and burps a lot, he just eats so much. I think he's great, and honestly I was considering making him a reason on his own. The 6th book in this series is dark, and my 6th reason is magic. I know it sounds like a really simple reason, but I definitely think it stands as its own point. There is so much magic in it. There's kind of alchemy, there's magic, there's like witchcraft. Like I said, witches and wizards are actually like different things. So wizards are like wearing, well, wizards don't wear purple cloaks. The extraordinary wizard wears a purple cloak, so I'm wearing my purple cloak. But wizards wear like blue, and then witches are the kind of ones that live in the forest, or they live in, like, I suppose if they're dark, they live elsewhere. And I think how the magic is done is really interesting. Like I said, there's alchemy in it too, which is really cool, kind of gives you a different perspective. And it almost kind of explores how the different kind of types of magic, so like alchemy and magic, are kind of in contrast with each other. There's also magic in like everyday life, so there are magical sweets, there's magical bookshops, and I just think it's really, really fun. The final book in the series is Fire, and my final reason isn't a particularly good reason, but I just want someone to cry about this series with. This final book came out in 2013. I bought the book when it came out, and I just haven't read it because I'm really frightened to have this book series finish. This was my favourite book series, genuinely, when I was growing up. I would read it all the time. And then this one kind of came out once I'd started secondary school. So I was kind of like, I'm cooler than it now. But also I know I didn't read it because if I read it, it would be over. I knew I could reread it, but like my reading experience for the first time would be over. And so I have actually been meaning to read this for about 2 years, but I have delayed it and just keep rereading the first 6. So I do really, really need to read it. To be fair to me, I was kind of delaying. It's the Queen. The Queen. I didn't know the Queen was in it. I delayed reading it as well because, like I said, one of my points was that you need illustrations in it. Oh my god, Jenna's looks so grown up. She looks beautiful. To be fair to myself, one of the reasons that I didn't read it straight away was the copy I got for some reason didn't have the illustrations, and a big part of my reading process was the illustrations, and so I thought I wouldn't read it properly for the first time if I didn't have them, and so I did kind of delay reading it. But now I have it, I have no excuse, and I am genuinely quite excited to read it. Oh my god, that's her tiara. But yes, those are my 7 reasons why I think you should read the Septimus Heap series. It's genuinely one of my favourite series, and when I came back to it I was worried it wouldn't have aged well, but I think it did. I think it's still really, really fun, and I love it. There are characters in this that I haven't mentioned specifically that I love. Like I said, I love Jenna. Beetle's a really fun character. There's one point where they go back in time, which is quite cool. There's alchemy, there's magic, there's witches, there's a sassy dragon. There's just so much history and lore to this world, and yeah, I love it so much. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Comment down below to let me know if you are interested in reading these books, or if by any coincidence you've already read them, because I'd really like to make some friends with this series. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in another video. Bye!